I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. There's nothing you can do to stop it. I've been on the way up cause I know I'm popping. Hits, no misses. Clean up like the dishes. Ain't no point telling me to stop cause I won't listen. Every level got a new devil. I'ma give him hell cause I don't know better. I'm a born winner. I'm going all the way up. There's nothing you can do to make me ever give up. Let's go. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up. I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm getting close. I can taste it. I'm going up like a spaceship. I'm shaking the ground. I'm making it loud. I go to work when nobody's around. It's time to get it. It's time to go. It's time to shine. It's my time to blow.
Hey partner, I'm Barry, your pocket crew chief, the very first AI-powered mechanic for sim racing. Got a car that's a little loose or tight? Just tell me how it's handling, and I'll whip up instant setup recommendations just for you. Want me to get even more precise? Snap a picture of your setup, and I'll fine-tune it to perfection. And hey, I'm not just about giving orders. I'll explain why every adjustment matters, so you can really understand your ride. I'll even teach you the science behind the setup. Ever wonder why the track bar is so important? I've got the answer. With Pocket Crew Chief, I'll make you smarter, faster, and race ready. So what are we waiting for? Let's build to win.
Go have a good day today. Like I said, load all the fans. Thank you guys for coming out here. We got a great crowd today. Everybody listen at home.
If you push, I'm defiant.
Everybody enjoy
Just
the
try it. It is bound to get violent when you walk this way.
Do it. All four tires face the same direction at the end of this thing. Ready? Green, 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 green. Good, baby. Put the pressure on that. You know what? You get him. Crash behind you. Just past halfway, bud. Just past halfway. A lot of racing to go. Take care of your stuff. That car up there is your next spot. Hit him. Yeah, man, let him come to you. Don't push him. White flag, nice and smooth. Checker flag.
It's Wednesday. That means it's the Stand Up Fight Series Invitational from the Slingshot Racing League. Welcome, everybody. I'm Ellis Thomas. Joining me in the Slingshot booth tonight is Sal Nicosia and producer Kobe Jordan, keeping us rolling behind the scenes. Tonight, we're bringing you live racing action from the Last Great Colosseum. It's Bristol, baby. Nestled in the scenic mountains of northeast Tennessee, Bristol, affectionately known as the Last Great Colosseum, has been a cornerstone of motorsports since it opened back in 1961. The brainchild of local businessmen Larry Carrier, Carl Moore, and R.G. Pope, the track was inspired by a visit to then newly constructed Charlotte Motor Speedway. Initially measuring a perfect half mile with 22-degree banking in the corners, Bristol has undergone several transformations to make that racing experience that much better. One of the most significant changes came back in '92 when they transitioned from asphalt to a concrete surface, a rarity among NASCAR tracks, aiming to enhance the durability, and certainly it's changed the racing conditions. 1978 saw the introduction of lights for the first time, adding a new dimension to its allure. Back in 1995, big battle between Terry Labonte and Dale Earnhardt popularized the term the chrome horn and the bump and run, as Earnhardt's aggressive tactics led to a dramatic and unforgettable conclusion. Beyond the track, the Bristol area offers a rich array of attractions. Fans can explore the birthplace of the Country Music Museum, celebrating the region's musical history, or venture into the natural beauty of the Appalachian Mountains. Sal, we often refer to Bristol as the Last Great Colosseum. These SRL drivers are going to have to put on their gladiator helmets tonight for 200 laps if they want to make it to victory lane at the end of the evening. What are these 30-plus drivers going to have to do tonight if they're going to vanquish their toughest opponents on the racetrack?
Well, there's definitely some keys to victory here tonight, four that we're really going to talk about, I feel like, all night long. The first of which is saving tires. You mentioned it. Concrete surface here, not a common thing throughout the series that we're going to run this year, the tracks we're going to run this year. So saving tires, important in the Gen 4 car, important in every car here at Bristol. Managing traffic, Gen 4 cars not really fanning out here at Bristol, right? It's going to become a one-lane game, and managing that traffic and being able to stay patient and set up moves and use that chrome horn from time to time, maybe something that these drivers will encounter here tonight. Hitting the rhythm, 200 laps is a long way to go. Once you get going, it's muscle memory, and these drivers are going to have to stay locked in all night long. Unfortunately, if they can't stay locked in, somebody does get sideways, there's not a lot of room to escape. To the top is the wall, to the bottom is the wall. This is not somewhere you can kind of get out wide and stay clean. So avoiding the big one is going to be of utmost importance. It is absolutely paramount. You try not to get a ton of damage because the aero will affect this tonight, but avoiding that big one is going to be tremendous.
4 stories to watch for the fans at home, and we're getting even closer to the start of that race, and those stories getting ready to transpire live from Bristol Motor Speedway. That means it's time for everyone's favorite pre-race tradition, the playing of the national anthem. Everyone rise and remove your cap if able. We'll be back on the other end of the anthem, folks. Night has descended here at Bristol Motor Speedway, just minutes away from the start of race number 3 from the Stand-Up Fight Series Invitational. I'm Ellis Thomas, joined by Sal Nicosia and Kobe Jordan in the SRL TV booth tonight. Last week, we hit the high banks of Atlanta. It was the second race of the season. We saw a major points fluctuation. Daytona saw Brian Brobst pull off the surprise victory, but the regular players returned to the front last weekend. Aaron Smith pulled off the victory for his first of the season, and it made a dynamic change to the points, and that leads us to the top 14 in points tonight, brought to you by Evan Pienta Designs. You can see Aaron Smith with that victory vaulted all the way up to first place in the points. Chris Smith with a top 5 finish right behind him, hot on his heels. It's a dead heat. And then Justin Wilson third, Devin Jack fourth, and Matt Kuntz fifth. Top 5 separated by 5 points. Sal, how nervous does that make you as a driver this early in the season, being right up in the thick of things in a tight championship battle?
It makes me as nervous as it gets me excited for what we have still to come here in the SRL Stand-Up Fight Series this year. Obviously, tight competition always makes for great racing for us at home, but as a driver, it's definitely nerve-wracking, especially coming into a track like Bristol. The good news is for drivers outside of the top 5, there's still plenty of opportunity to run well, have good finishes, and have the opportunity to claw and fight and get your way up into a position where you can contend for a championship. So a lot of racing to go here. I would be very nervous looking at Bristol and these cars and seeing myself in the point standing and trying to get that result, but that's why they're the professionals down there on the track, and I'm up here in the booth with you.
We'll continue. You're doing a great job up in the booth. And speaking of great job, Sky has been out the past couple of weeks, and we miss him. He'll be back next week, but it's a privilege to be able to work with you guys here up in the Wednesday night booth. And it's going to be a tight points race, no playoffs this season. So it is old school NASCAR with these old school NASCAR stock cars. I was talking to my dad before the race, and he said, I didn't realize that the back end of these cars look so strange, with one side kind of lifted up in the air and flat, and the other side kind of a rolled, smooth body like you're traditionally used to seeing on stock cars. And all about the aerodynamics. And it's going to make for an interesting race tonight. So I think it might be a good opportunity to see if we can't hear from one of the drivers who is going to be out there tonight. Patrick Colby, pretty solid performance, first 2 races of the season out the gate. We're going to pull Patrick in, see what he's got to say about what we can expect tonight. Patrick Colby, it's Ellis and Sal and Kobe up in the Slingshot TV booth. Does driver 87 have a copy?
Oh my God, what's up, guys?
Long time, no talk. We didn't ask you if we could pull you in, but we trusted you might be good. So I'm glad you answered. It's good to see you, man, at Bristol tonight. Big departure from the last 2 races we have run, Daytona and Bristol. How's that car going to handle out there tonight? What are you expecting to see over the course of 200 laps?
It's fairly balanced. I think we're going to have a lot more right front wear than we do anything else, so it's going to be about kind of wrapping the bottom and keeping the right front on it if you want to have speed later on in these runs.
Who is your biggest competition tonight? What kind of speed are you rolling in practice, and what do you make your chances to get another top 10 tonight?
I mean, man, if I didn't blow qualifying, I ran a 14.829 here in this little warm-up, so just going to have to come through the pack, and honestly, it's Aaron, Justin, Scotty, the usual guys, Hard to beat here.
Hey, we'll be keeping an eye out for you. I've run behind you at Bristol a few times, and you know your way around here. So good luck out there tonight, my friend. It was good to hear from you. We'll throw you back into the Placeholder Racing Discord. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir. All right, so you heard from Patrick Colby, driver number 87. The warm-up session is coming to an end, and we're about to get these cars on the race grid. Before we do so, folks, if you're tuning in, watching on YouTube, we appreciate you joining us tonight. You'll notice some chat scrolling across the bottom of the screen. You'll notice some stories. We're also going to play some mini games down there, some trivia questions, some word scrambles. And tonight, you can actually pick the winner and get points for picking the potential winner, along with answering some other questions. We're going to be giving out a Dale Earnhardt Jr. diecast to the points leader at the end of the night. And that leaderboard will pop up occasionally, as you see now, so you can track how you are doing. So make sure to get your answers in. And with that being said, we'll go ahead and throw up the first question of the night before we hit our starting grid. And that is, can you pick the winner? Who's going to win this race? Just type the number sign, the hashtag pound, and then your number and enter. And you can see all those numbers on the left side of the screen. And that means it's time for the starting grid, brought to you from Evan Pienta Designs. Just a few moments away from getting going at Bristol. And on your pole tonight, it's none other than Braxton DeWeese. We've seen driver number 8 have a lot of speed here in these cars. Can he get the job done tonight from the pole? Starting his outside, it's going to be Scotty Sobczak, and then 81, another fast driver that we just heard Patrick Colby mention could be a threat for the win. Aaron Smith, last week's winner, going to be starting third tonight. Keep an eye out for that bright yellow number 70. And to his outside, it's going to be Rye Jones, who picked up the win just this past Monday in the UD Awards ARCA Series at Daytona, the season opener. Devin Jack, high up in the points, a good season so far. Going to be coming from 5th in that 49. Can he get his first win tonight? Chris Smith in the 28, looking to come from 6th position to get the win. He's been fast all season long, tied for the lead in the points. He's coming from 6th. Chris Pierce going to be coming from 7th tonight in that number 25 with Chase Berry, always a driver with a couple Bristol victories. He's one to watch tonight in that 46. He's going to be starting 8th. Jacob Phillips will come from 9th tonight, and to his outside, on the outside of row number 5, it is Josh Ward in that bright blue and yellow number 92. Sal, I'll let you cover the rest of the top 20.
Yeah, starting on the inside on row 6 is the 58 of Justin Wilson. We saw him with some good speed last year up at the front throughout the pack at Atlanta. On the outside is the 52 of Johnny Rapp. In row 7, it's Samuel Stoner in the 65. On the outside, it's Ryan Hinkey. Row 7, it's Patrick Colby. Or I'm sorry, row 8, it's Patrick Colby and Nick DeCasser. And row number 9, it's Tom Lickert and Peter Stewart. Rounding out the top 20, it's Matt Kuntz in the 13 and the 16 of Brandon Ayers. We have 27 cars here competing at Bristol. In the 21st position in the 84, it's Laura Wiseman, who's had some fantastic finishes lately, is crawling her way up in the point standings. Behind her, Derek Fike, Steve Vest, Jay Heichman, Jay Leach, Zach Mitchell, and Paul Thomas.
Those drivers starting near the back of the field, they're going to have to go early. It's Bristol, meaning the leaders are going to encounter lap traffic fairly early. That's going to be one of the stories to watch. How do you manage traffic? Sal mentioned in the pre-race, we don't have to wait any longer to find out. The pace car peels off. We're green flag racing for the 3rd time this season tonight from Bristol. Let's go racing, drivers. Braxton DeWeese to the inside. Scotty Sobczak makes that pass to the outside. We've seen that outside struggle in practice, but Sobczak made it work there in turn number 1. They come down the front straightaway for the 2nd time tonight.
Sobczak there with a great launch on the start, timed the pass perfect after the start finish, and ended up being able to pull down with a lot of space between he and Braxton DeWeese there. What a great power move there to start this race. Controlling that lead is going to be something crucial for these drivers up at the front. Once they can get clear of their competition, it's going to be that much harder for the guys behind them to give them a little bump and run to get the job done here tonight.
Big battle brewing for 7th position. Chase Berry, Josh Ward, Chris Pierce. Throw a blanket over these 3 drivers. They've been throwing slug shots here for the past couple of laps since we took the green flag. Ward making his way through the field up 3 positions from starting 10th tonight. That 92 is going to be fast, and those 2 drivers behind him doing their best to chase. Looked like Justin Wilson, 3rd place in points, scraped the wall there on the exit of turn number 2 right in front of Johnny Rapp. Looks like he's okay, though. No damage on the right side of that number 58. He continues racing right now. Lap number 6 of 200. It's early here at Bristol.
Yeah, there is so much time here tonight to see how things unfold. I mean, battles that start now might not finish for another 200 laps easily. So it'll be interesting to see how drivers want to approach their strategies here. Full fuel tanks here tonight. So these green flag runs, if everybody behaves themselves, could go on. We could get some really fantastic green flag racing here at Bristol tonight.
Green flag racing so far, so good. Up at the front, it's Braxton DeWeese, Scotty Sobczak. Braxton DeWeese, though, has a mirror full of Aaron Smith as we watch them cross the line right now. Aaron Smith kind of lurking in the background. He started third. He's maintained that position. If you're Braxton DeWeese, that's not a view you want in your rear view mirror. Aaron Smith hounding him right now. How nervous does that make you, Sal? Does that upset the car? One caution, one car sideways. Looked like we got a caution. That might have been the 16 of Brandon Ayers. We're going to see if we can't figure out what just happened here on the track on lap number 9. Maybe Tom Lickert potentially. Let's see if we can't figure that out. I'm going to be working on getting that to you, Kobe. If we can point out if anyone knows what that is, I'll get to it. Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right. So I'm ready to pull up that replay whenever you get a chance, Kobe, or you've already got it going. Never mind.
Yeah, that 99 of Tom Lickert there looked like it got twisted like a pretzel. Just gets loose going into the corner and just slips up and absolutely whacks the front end of that car at that speed, just not able to hold on to it. But big damage for that 99 Tom Lickert here tonight. That's going to be a tough one to come back from. But early enough, maybe making an appearance just to finish these laps out. But a lot of damage on the front end of that car.
Lots of damage to that 9, and that came with the 16. That came at the hands of the 9 there. And we mentioned it. These cars don't handle well up at the top of the track. That's not where the speed is. That inside line space is certainly a premium tonight as we watch Tom Lickert come down and try to get that damage repaired. Hopefully he's able to knock some of that out under this pit stop. But it puts us under caution for the first time tonight here on lap number 12. And your leader still is being scored as Scotty Sobczak. He got away a bit. One thing I think might be pertinent to mention here is Scotty, we've seen him race in Slingshot Racing League for years, and at the beginning kind of his tenure, he struggled to hold back the first part of a run. And we've seen him mature quite a bit in the past couple of years in terms of being able to hold back, not wearing out that right front tire. I'm just worried about him in terms of how far he got away from the field. Did he use up too much too early? Maybe that caution gives him a chance to cool down these tires. But if I was on top of the pit box for that 81, I might be encouraging him, maintain that gap between those guys behind you. Sal, what do you think of that?
Yeah, I think managing your run here is going to be crucial. Those right side tires are going to get hot in a hurry, and then you'll start to see them fall off. How will these other drivers look to save if they see Sobczak going out there and burning them up? The longer the green flag run goes, and the less opportunity to get new shoes on them, the worse it's going to be for that leader if he keeps chewing them up like that. So definitely something, if I was on the top of the pit box, like you said, Ellis, just back it down a little, think about who's behind you and manage that gap.
Manage that gap indeed. Is it going to be Braxton DeWeese, the 81 of Sobczak, who wins this race? Folks, don't forget, you can still get your picks in. We're going to leave that open for a while. It's going to earn some trivia, some points tonight on the leaderboard if you pick the correct winner. If you've already put your winner and you added any text other than the pound sign in the driver number, go ahead, re-enter it. All you got to do is hit driver or the number symbol and then your driver number and hit enter. Don't add anything else. Right now, these drivers looking to take the green flag for the second time. Sobczak gets a heck of a run on the outside. He gets the whole shot. Meanwhile, it's a battle for second as they head down into turn 1 and 2. That's Rye Jones and Braxton DeWeese on the inside. Now it's going to be a great opportunity to see if that outside can get anything going. Right now, Rye Jones making that look pretty good. He gets a big run off of turn number 4.
Yeah, Scotty Sobczak's loving this, watching these guys in his mirror battle each other as he scoots away to just a little bit of a lead here, kind of what we saw before that caution. Rye Jones up there on the high side, able to make some progress. It's really a question of, a little bit of contact back there in the field up against the wall there. Interesting to see Rye Jones move down to the bottom. He's going to try to manage both lanes now.
Interesting. Super Speedway style racing here for Rye Jones, trying to figure out where the runs are coming from. He can't stop that run on the outside by Aaron Smith in that bright yellow number 70. Last week's winner at Atlanta Motor Speedway looks to reclaim the top position here, second position, I should say, from Rye Jones. Now on lap 18, he's going to do it easily. Devin Jack looking to see if he can't use the 70 as his wingman there. He's going to try to work his way by on the outside as we ride on on board with Braxton DeWeese. You can see best seat in the house right now for some good racing. Ry Jones doing a pretty good job of keeping that car right by the 49 on the inside.
Yeah, that's going to be wild. I mean, that top line working right now, Aaron Smith, but as things go on, as the night continues, it's going to be interesting as you see these guys just brushing the wall on the exit. They are pushing these cars to the limit. I mean, Ry Jones able to make that move work as Braxton DeWeese now has a mirror full. There is no shortage of action throughout the field. Right now, the 58 and the 92 getting side by side a little bit here as the battles continue. I can't believe it is only lap 22 right now. We have such a long way to go. We're gonna be exhausted after this with all this action here tonight, Ellis.
I think you are absolutely right, man. My voice already starting to feel the pressure of a 200-lap race at Bristol. Drivers sorting it out right now. Looks like Justin Wilson surrenders that position, that 6th position, to Josh Ward. They settle it out single file. Got a couple comments in the chat right now. Got some Braxton DeWeese folks picking him as the winner. The 56 looks like Jacob Phillips has a couple fans rooting him on to win this race. And then we got Daniel Berg saying the 70 of Aaron Smith is going to win. Watching him roll around the track right now. Eating into that 81's lead. Sobczak must have been listening. It hasn't gotten away quite as quickly. We got Zebra saying he recognizes that voice. I'm wondering if Zebra might know you, Sal. I'm not sure if you know Zebra in the chat, but Zebra says he recognizes a voice. Not sure if it's mine or yours.
I sure do recognize Zebra. Zebra's run with Zebra. Marty the Racing Zebra on TikTok. I run with him in a couple of different leagues over the course of time. Glad he's found his way here to the SRL TV stand-up fight series here on YouTube tonight and able to tune in. This is what we're doing these days. We're having a good time watching these guys rip around Bristol here tonight. Gives me some flashback memories to races I've run here. And like I said earlier, I'm glad that I'm up here instead of down there because I would have been the caution by now with how tight these guys are racing one another here tonight.
We got the best view in the house, up 3 up here, watching Braxton DeWeese try to chase down and eat into Ry Jones's lead on 5th position. Jones currently in the 4th position. You can watch the corner tracker there. You can see if it's a minus sign, not good. If it's a plus sign, that's good. It looks like right now Braxton DeWeese is rolling the center of the corner off the corner a little bit better than Ry Jones, but Jones looks to be driving it in a little bit harder. Sal, what's the trade-off with that sort of kind of give and take mentality? You know, getting into the corner hard, gaining time. What does that do in the long run, though?
I think it's really about where these drivers are most comfortable and how they want to drive their run. Getting in there harder is great, but it's going to give you a little bit more roll time to roll through the corner. Some drivers are a little more comfortable easing up on the entry and being able to drive out of the corner a little earlier. So as we watch these corner speeds throughout the night here, as drivers battle and cars get close to one another, it's interesting to see how these drivers will approach it based on, what kind of tire they still have underneath them and how comfortable they feel, but also just about individual driving styles and what kind of work they have to get done to make something happen.
They got to do a lot of work out here. Speaking of work, I'm looking at the battle for 13th. Jacob Phillips and Samuel Stoner. That is a good one going out on the track right now. They're working their way down the backstretch, fighting it out for the 13th position. The 56 is currently holding that 13th position. Meanwhile, not far behind him, Samuel Stoner in the 65, doing a good job, losing a little bit of that run he had on the 56 right now, but currently watching the leaders work their way around Tom Lickert, who brought out that first caution. A lot of damage on that 99. Going to be tough to get that whole thing repaired. Up front, Scotty Sobczak continues to lead the race up to about a 0.2 of a second lead, but Sal, he hasn't gotten away quite as far as he did the last run before that caution from second place last week's winner, Aaron Smith.
No, not quite yet. Aaron Smith, though, we know how much speed he has and the caliber of driver that he is, so I'm not surprised that Scotty Sobczak hasn't gotten out as far as last time. He's kind of keeping himself, or the 70, keeping him kind of at arm's distance right now. But like we said, it's about managing the run, and maybe that 81 isn't quite ready to put his foot down all the way yet and take off, seeing as we've gone green for quite a ways here now. So be interesting to see how patient Aaron Smith can be. We know he's got some speed as he continues to close that gap pretty aggressively here.
Yeah, this is a good battle for the lead shaping up. You can see the battle box is telling us right now Smith is faster. It's based on our AI calculations from Pierce Graphics, who does all these graphics you see on the screen right now. Aaron Smith going to catch Scotty Sobczak in 9 laps. Now, you see the pace change there. Slowed down a little bit. He's gotten in the wake of that number 81. I know these cars aren't quite as aero sensitive as the newer NASCAR stock cars, but I think we're maybe seeing an impact of that right now. Also, Sobczak having to work on lap traffic coming up on the 16 of Brandon Ayers next, and you see there now Smith running a little bit faster, 11 laps from potentially passing the 81, but our good old friend DW said catching them's one thing, passing them is a whole nother thing. It's not easy to pass here at Bristol, and I think we're going to see the chrome horn before things are all said and done tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't be super surprised if a little bumper gets used at any point in the field here trying to make passes, but right now I think Aaron Smith just biding his time. He knows it's early in this race. We're on lap 43, and he knows he's got some time to make this happen, being patient and waiting for Sobczak to maybe make a mistake or slip up or give him an opening. I think that's going to be the way Aaron Smith wants to get this one done if he can help it.
Probably not a bad idea. Right now, big battle going on, shaping up. I believe this is the 17th position. Kobe, I'll put it up on the side-by-side. Going to see if we can't watch. Looks like Jay Leach and Nick DeCesare rolling down here. You see that in the bottom right-hand screen. DeCesare has kind of been reeling in that number 2 DeCesare with his teammate, Matt Kuntz. Super strong run last week, or 2 weeks ago, I should say, at Daytona. Back here trying to claw his way back up into the top 10 for another top 10 finish. That 00 is looking good. Chasing down the 2. They're coming up on Ryan Hinkle in that number 21. What's that, a Mountain Dew car? Now they're making me thirsty. What kind of Mountain Dew car is that on that inside right box? It's red.
Well, Code Red Mountain Dew, maybe. That's the best there is out there, Elvis. That'll keep you wired up forever tonight.
Code Red is the GOAT indeed. And speaking of GOATs, battle for the lead is on. They're up front right now. Aaron Smith has reeled in Scotty Sobczak for the lead. Smith now rolling a little bit higher than we've seen him all night long, trying to maybe match or exceed the pace of the 81, and it looks like they're just kind of alternating spots. What do you make of that? Kind of trying different things at this point, Sal, doing a different line than the driver in front of them is.
Yeah, Aaron Smith is applying pressure. He's doing what the other driver isn't doing and seeing where he can find a little bit extra speed to set up a pass here. Like we said, it's really tough to pass here, but if Aaron Smith can get up underneath of him just a little bit, disturb that air, obviously not as aero-sensitive as the next-gen Cup Series car is at Bristol, but still definitely some aerodynamics that come into play even at this short track. It will make a difference as they just look to trade lines and get places that the other driver isn't quite willing to go, testing each other's comfort levels. And this is all going to play out as we continue on here. Lap 52 of 200. There's plenty of time to see this one unfold.
Plenty of time, but this thing has been moving at a pretty fast clip. A quarter of the way through these 200 laps at Bristol. Sobczak is your leader. Aaron Smith not far behind, but it looks like the battle for third right behind them is picking up. Rye Jones trying to make his way by Braxton DeWeese. You can see there, vice versa. DeWeese trying to make his way by the 91 of Rye Jones, and look at that run. That 8's getting off of the top of the racetrack there. Braxton DeWeese sailing it off up the banking into that corner on the outside. He's got the momentum. He makes it look easy on the outside. Move Braxton DeWeese up to P3. Jones back to P4. Then the battle back behind them is Devin Jack and Josh Ward, but I'm a little surprised here early on, Sal. I'm not going to lie. I was expecting, based on everything we had heard the drivers talking about, that outside line was going to be useless, but it seems like it's quite the opposite so far as the battle for the lead continues to pick up in lap traffic. You can see right in front of Paul Thomas there and Braxton DeWeese. It's a battle up front. They're working their way by Steve Vest. Aaron Smith just about a car length off the back bumper of Scotty Sobczak for the lead. And that, Sal, is right, because this is going to be close, especially when you factor in lap traffic.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to create a whole different equation as these drivers are not only now looking to make passes on lap cars in front of them, but, Scotty Sobczak will have to play defense on Aaron Smith behind him. It was interesting to see Braxton DeWeese utilize that high line the way he was able to. The track, rubber is going down. iRacing has really been innovative in that way of giving the most realistic racing surface. Oh, as we have a caution, a couple of cars at the start-finish line there getting involved with one another.
Boy.
We see the 99 involved again, the 92, the 58, all kind of going for a big slide. Not sure how bad the damage was there, but see the replay. Check out how bad things really got here. Oh, yeah. Josh Ward just comes down, thinks he has a little more space kind of than he did, and comes down and takes the nose of that 58 right along with him. That's a tough
not
wreck
easy.
there.
It's not easy rolling that top and having a car on the bottom. Looks can be deceiving out of the mirror sometimes, and maybe just a slight misjudgment. That's going to bring us to pit stops for the first time tonight. I believe we're going to see drivers hit pit road. You're seeing it right there. Scotty Sobczak, Aaron Smith, Rye Jones, Devin Jack, and Chris Pierce. Your top five, bringing them down, but Braxton DeWeese stays out on the track. We'll talk about that story here in a moment. Let's see who's fastest on pit road. Scotty Sobczak leads them down. Right sides up to get new tires on those cars. We'll see if Scotty Sobczak can maintain that lead position, technically provisionally second, because Braxton DeWeese stayed out. One car potentially taking two tires. Chase Berry, look at that battle off pit road. Scott Sobczak might have won it by about 2 inches to Aaron Smith, and Chase Berry, great run by Chase Berry there. Maybe a 2-tire stop based on what I'm seeing, and the pit stop does indeed say it was yeah, absolutely. That was a 7.9 second stop, Sal. Right sides only for that number 46 track position. Something.
Yeah,
that's
something that's unique about that strategy. I would not have expected to see 2-tire stops here tonight, but this is a way to make that track position happen in a hurry. We know how fast a tire falls off, so if he can control the restart here and get through the first handful of laps and dictate the pace of his car and the cars around him, he may have a chance to bide his time and get those other tires replaced later on in this race. But interesting to see the 8 of Braxton DeWeese stay out there. That is quite the strategy call, Ellis. What do you think?
I think it's a very interesting strategy call. I'm curious to hear from the inverse of that decision. Scotty Sobczak, we're going to bring him into the booth and see what he has to say about how those tires are. Scotty Sobczak, it's Ellis, Sal, and Kobe up in the Slingshot booth. You got a copy, brother? Scotty Sobczak, you got a copy, sir?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Hey, man, we're not going to keep you too long, but those tires, how are they feeling right now?
Not too bad. Better after new ones, hopefully. It looks like a couple guys stayed out, so I don't know exactly how it's going to play out here. But, you want to be on the inside, but you can make the middle to outside work on the first couple laps, fresh tires. So we'll see how it goes here.
All right. Good luck. Lock in, sir. Goodbye. Thank you. All right, we got him there right before we were coming back to the green flag. I always appreciate these drivers letting us gain an inside view of what's happening. Restart is underway. Braxton DeWeese takes the green flag. It's Derek Fike and that number 67. But Scotty Sobczak making use of those brand new tires on the inside. Sobczak gains 1 position. He's now up to second. Derek Fike right behind them trying to hold off Chase Berry. 1 car around. That's Chris Smith in the 28. Points leader, several cars come careening into the 28. It's mayhem on the straightaway. The big one has struck. That's the 13 of Matt Kuntz, who's got a whole big old view full of concrete through his helmet right now. What happened, Sal?
Upside down there. I mean, the 67 there gets into the 28 of Chris Smith. Gets him turned around just a touch. Nothing really intentional there from my point of view. And like we said in the pre-race, this track is narrow, and once you get broadside, it is hard to avoid, and we see the calamity that ensues after that. Everybody just driving into the side of the 28. 13, Kuntz there getting upside down for a moment. Rickety rocking his way back onto all fours. But this is where the strategy starts to come into play, where cautions start to happen. America's crew chief Larry Mack, cautions breed cautions, and that's something that we hopefully won't see too much of here tonight, but will absolutely play a role in the strategy calls. Braxton DeWeese right now looking like a very smart driver and a very smart crew chief sitting on top of that pit box, waiting a little bit to get their stops done.
I think you're absolutely right. Chris DeWeese, crew chief for that number 8, just commented in the chat, we are happy with our decision to stay out. I think that was definitely a good call. Speaking of good calls, you can make a good call. We've got another opportunity to earn points on that leaderboard, competing for that Dale Jr. Bass Pro Shops diecast. Can you pick the leader at halfway, just about 35 laps from now? Same thing as last time. Make sure that you type the pound sign and then the number of the driver you think is going to be the leader at halfway. Please be sure to only type the pound sign, the number, no driver name, anything like that. Our system's a little finicky, but get that in there into the chat right now. You got about 35 laps, so you got a good chance. One of these top 10 drivers very well might be the leader at halfway. Braxton DeWeese, Sal, you mentioned it was a good call on the part of that number 8 to stay out. You mentioned it, crashes, cautions, breed cautions, and right there, Braxton was able to stay out of that 10-car pileup simply by staying out on the track. He's going to be marked as your leader. Now, Scotty Sobczak looking pretty smart now. He's got the benefit of brand new tires. He's going to be restarting on the inside. I'm liking where that number 81 is sitting. Multi-time Slingshot Racing League winner, right next to another multi-time Slingshot Race winner and champion, Braxton DeWeese. This is going to be a good old-fashioned slugfest here as we get ready to go under green flag racing conditions one more time tonight. Lap 68 of 200, getting ready for the restart here.
Yeah, gonna be a battle of the tires here at 81 with an advantage as they pull off pit road, Ellis. Here we go.
Green flag is out. Braxton DeWeese smashes that throttle. He gets us back underway here at Bristol. Scotty Sobczak not wasting any time, getting to that inside, trying to make it roll. They're single file up front. DeWeese not making not wasting any time, I should say, trying to get to the front. But look at this battle behind them. Derek Fike kind of losing spot after spot right now, trying to stop the bleed. That 67 on the inside, but he's getting freight trained on the outside, something we're a little bit surprised to see. Chase Berry is one car in that 46, that black and gold machine right in front of these guys, that I'm curious to see what happens to the speed of that 46. He's on right side tires, we believe, definitely not 4 tires. How is that 46 gonna hold up? They're currently in the 5th position. Meanwhile, Scotty Sobczak has reeled in that number 8. Sal, we might have a fight for the lead here any moment.
Yeah, it's like you said earlier. It's one thing to get to the guy, another to pass him, and it's definitely tough. We know Braxton DeWeese isn't just going to let him drive by. That's a strategy they had to stay out here. Then they're going to want to try to capitalize on it. Staying out front is paramount to that, as Scotty Sobczak seems to be looking to that inside line. DeWeese kind of running a little bit above the yellow, but everybody being respectful and minding their business here as the 81 looks to the inside again. He might have him this time as DeWeese gives him the space, and they'll run side by side here across the start-finish line, lap 74.
There's that battle for the lead. Scotty Sobczak on the inside. We've seen the inside be effective. We've seen the outside be effective. There's been no rhyme or reason tonight, but that time it's the inside that wins the day. Aaron Smith going to try to roll by Braxton DeWeese as well. Maybe these old tires starting to pay, I should say, he's starting to pay the price on these older tires. Chris DeWeese in the chat saying he told Braxton, you better be leading at halfway. He wants those points for the mini game contest tonight. He's in 3rd position right now. Hey, quick shout out to Cameron Ellis. First super chat of the night, Sal, coming from Cameron Ellis, says Payday Baby. I would imagine he's a Payday Racing fan, which means we got to throw it up to some Payday Racing drivers. We already mentioned Chase Berry currently sitting in that 7th position. One car in the wall, Braxton DeWeese. Big turn of events for the 3rd place car. Started this as the leader. What has happened to that number 8? We're going to try to find out as we return to the scene of the crime. No caution on the racetrack.
Yeah, and we had seen him getting a little bit of a wiggle in that car the last couple of laps there with those older tires, and it looks like it finally just snapped loose on him as he dove into that corner there with some pressure behind from Rye Jones. No contact, but definitely a full mirror, just not able to hold on to it. Goes up there, gives a little bit of a wall ride, and loses that front bumper. That's a tough break for the 8 of Braxton DeWeese, who had been running really well here all night long. He's going to have to come down pit road, get some repairs done, but absolutely fast. Wouldn't count him out. I think there's plenty of time still here for him to make some progress back through the field, depending on what happens here on pit road.
If the cautions fall the right way, you never know. Watching a payday driver right now, that's the 46 of Chase Berry. He restarted around the 5th position, I believe. He's only lost about 4 spots here. Started 10th on the night, but making those 2 tires look pretty good. I like the call for track position, especially if we can get maybe another caution here in just a short period of time. I think that 46 might come out looking like a genius on that pit call. Track position proving to be important based on some of the crashes we've seen collect a lot of drivers tonight. I know Cameron Ellis was asking about some payday drivers. That 46 is one of them, and he's got a good run right now. I believe that was Sam Stoner loose off of turn number 4 there, trying to roll to the outside. Sam does a great job in the 1987 NASCARs. These things drive maybe a little bit similar to those, and he's having a good night right now, trying to claw his way into the top 10, now the top 9 for the first time tonight. It's a good-looking car. I'm not sure. Blue and green, I'm not sure what Upland is on the hood, but shout out to them as he's repping that brand, 65 Stoner. Oh boy, look at the battle behind them. Patrick Colby and Jay Haishman. How nervous does this make you, Sal, especially if you're that 87 right in the middle of all of this?
Oh man, it makes my stomach turn just watching. I mean, that 87 trying to navigate his way as these two continue to battle. I mean, this battle's going on. This 2-tire strategy's working out for the 46 of Chase Berry as he finally does give up that spot. Oh, and he washes up a little bit. Looks like the 87 is going to take advantage there too. Patrick Colby making the move now. But yeah, that's a tight battle there. You can throw a blanket over these drivers and these cars right now. It just adds to the element of what makes this place so exciting and makes it the Last Great Colosseum here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Right behind them, Chris Smith trying to go under Chase Berry. You see that white car right at the top of the frame a moment ago. That's for 11th position, right behind that number 87 of Patrick Colby. It's Chris Smith, and he was involved in the second major accident of the night. I'm impressed that 28 still has the speed in it. I'm looking at it, and whatever damage he has been significantly repaired under the last caution. That 28 has got it rolling once again, trying to work his way into the top 10 once again, chasing down Patrick Colby. He's got Jay Haishman right behind him as we watch Chase Berry trying to get up to the back bumper of Jay Haishman. Haishman making that move to the right side there. Haishman, a solid driver. This is a driver that if you've raced with him before, you feel comfortable around him. He's not going to make a mistake. He's not going to race you too aggressively. He's not going to put you or him in a bad position. And on iRacing, that is paramount. That is worth a lot of gold. Certainly worth its weight in gold. And right now doing a good job of that. Look at that 25 of Chris Pierce. This is a battle currently for the 4th position. Chris Pierce trying to hold on. He's got Devin Jack not too far behind them. Watching Derek Fike, Justin Wilson. Lots of battles going around on the track right now. VK trying to hold off the 58 of Justin Wilson. Several cars been involved in crashes tonight, trying to make a comeback. Justin Wilson 5 laps down, but trying to earn back every single one of them before this thing is over. Currently, Derek Fike is scored, I believe, currently in the 17th position in that number 67. Shout out to that car. He's got a GIS, Kelly Geography paint scheme on that number 67. They do all sorts of geographic information system mapping, and as a geography teacher, that's pretty exciting to me, trying to map his way around Bristol. Not an easy job right now for that 67, Sal.
Yeah, not easy as always at all. We see the 16 there getting up, brushing into the wall too. But speaking of guys involved in accidents here tonight, the 8, Braxton DeWeese, his crew chief, is in the chat talking about how they have too much damage here tonight. The number 8, Braxton DeWeese, had a very fast hot rod, but a little too much to overcome coming down pit road. And unfortunately for that car and that driver and that team, it's a night cut short here at Bristol.
Battle for the lead. Big battle. Scotty Sobczak taking cars 3 wide there through the middle, threading the needle. Aaron Smith, that bright yellow machine, not too far behind. He had drawn to within a car length off the back bumper of that number 81 Predator machine. The Predator so far tonight has been Scotty Sobczak, but Aaron Smith has been right there along the way, right behind him in his tire tracks. Aaron Smith now within about a car length off that back bumper. They're free of lap traffic at least for the next few laps. It's probably going to be a good indicator now. 40 laps on these tires. We have crossed the halfway point. Scotty Sobczak is going to be scored as the leader. No one picked Scotty Sobczak to be the leader at halfway. Y'all missed out on the points. No one got it tonight. It was a good effort, but no one's going to get those points, unfortunately. So sorry for any Scotty Sobczak fans. You missed your opportunity to get those points in the chat. So no one guessed the 81. And you'll have more opportunities later. Don't worry. Scotty Sobczak continues to lead this race. Aaron Smith not too far behind. They're working their way by the number 84 of Laura Wiseman. Had a great run at Daytona. Top 20 last week at Atlanta. Currently, Laura is running in the 20th position. 2 laps down. Looking to see if she can't get one of those laps back here eventually before this thing is said and done tonight. Currently, how many cars we have in the lead laps out? Just 16 cars at a short track like Bristol. The laps click away fast and the leaders catch you even faster.
Yeah, and things are moving along really fast. We're over halfway now, which I couldn't believe it when you brought it up. I mean, these cars, outside of the few cautions we've had here tonight, even those have gone by fairly quickly without a ton of issue. It's going to be even more of a battle as we get this long green flag run in here. We see a gaggle of lap cars here now that Scotty Sobczak and Aaron Smith will have to contend with. It's interesting how this plays into the racecraft and the race strategy as Aaron Smith kind of looks on from behind the 81 and might want to see how he can set himself up for success to take the lead, utilizing those lap cars as a pick or seeing exactly what lane he might want to get for a good run here as the 9 gets in the wall
there. Big moment for the 9. Slides off the wall into the 58 of Justin Wilson, who is right to the outside of the leader, or second place, I should say, Aaron Smith. Sal, you called it. Lap traffic is difficult to navigate.
Yeah, it is an absolute hornet's nest when you get these drivers going 2 and 3 wide. The cars get really loose in a hurry, carrying that speed through the top side of this racetrack. Before you know it, you'll be sideways, but good on the 9 there for holding on as tight as he could to avoid taking out the 70 of Aaron Smith and kind of interfering with the race at the lead here. But I would not be surprised if you see more of that start to happen as this track, things get more contentious. These drivers are going to look to make passes on each other, and the battle between these lap cars is also going to come into play. So a lot of different elements mixed up here. Going to be a wild one as we're, got a whole second half here to see it all happen.
Chase Berry, another payday driver, going a lap down. That's on old tires right now. Berry, I believe, looking at where Berry is, I think he's got at least 100 laps on those left side tires, or in the 46 or more. So maybe not the right decision by that 46. Maybe not expecting the long run that we have gotten here. And Sal, I believe these drivers can make it on this tank of fuel. So if this thing were to go green, which it does have a bit of a green flag look to it, they could very well make it without having to come down pit road again. And I think if you're a driver who stayed out earlier like Chase Berry, that is an alarming development there. But there's still about 87 laps for that to be realized. So who knows what is going to happen. But one thing I am watching, Rye Jones right behind these top 2, that purple car coming into the frame in 3rd position. Don't look now, but Jones has been running some of the fastest laps on the track as these drivers, these leaders, try to work their way by lap traffic. That Florida driver out of Pensacola with that iconic bright purple machine, that 91, he's been fast. He won the ARCA UD Award Series opener at Daytona just this past Monday, a couple of days ago. So a little bit of win behind his sails. What does a win, what does a great performance do for your confidence, Sal, as a driver?
In this field with these drivers at this caliber and this level of competition, a win here does everything for you to build that confidence up. Not just to take for yourself into the next race, but to kind of prove to everybody that you are a contender here. We know Rye Jones is a contender, multi-time winner here in the series, had a lot of success, but it does a tremendous amount to get you head and shoulders above, some of the doubt that you bring into a new season. And check that box off early. If you're going to be competitive this year, get that first win under your belt, and tends to be that a few more might follow thereafter. So would be great to see that 91 get into victory lane for Rye Jones and his team tonight.
Another couple of drivers looking to get into victory lane. We're watching Devin Jack in that 49. A couple good runs at Daytona and Atlanta this season. Jack continuing that strong breakout performance this season, running in the 5th position, that 49. Chris Pierce, you saw it, loose off of turn 4, not far behind him. 60 laps on these tires. Drivers maybe starting to feel a little bit of wear here early on in this run. They're working their way by lap cars. Chase Berry, a lap car right in front of him, Josh Ward, but big moment there for the 25 of Chris Pierce, who, by the way, does a great job with those leaderboard graphics that you've seen on the screen all night from Pierce Graphics. We appreciate everything he does. Look at old Johnny Rapp in the Mission Barbecue machine running the 7th position. Shout out to Johnny. Not only a great league administrator, but also making it look easy out on the track right now at a very difficult track. Watching the 67 of Derek Fike. That is a stop for tires. Derek did not get them earlier. Chose track position. Paying the price right now as we watch Devin Jack continue to roll his way around. Chris Pierce has chewed into that gap just a little bit, about a car length back now. Looking at the lap time comparisons between Jack and Pierce, that time by, I believe Pierce was just a skosh faster. I'm curious if the battle box has something similar to say for the battle here between Pierce and Devin Jack, not too far in front of them, what it's projecting. And I don't think we even need the projections. We can see that 25 rolling the top, and that's where the momentum is right now, Sal. I'm continuing to be surprised at how these drivers are making use of the top, maybe willing to sacrifice some of that right front tire for speed and passing.
Yeah, it's definitely a tool in the toolbox trying to make passes happen as Pierce there kind of threads the needle, gets from the top side down low to get around the lap car there while defending from Jack. Starting to drive away here a little bit, but we saw the 25 get a scrooch loose, maybe feeling like that top side is a better option to kind of mitigate some of the slipping and sliding he may be experiencing on this run as the tires get a little bit older, but ultimately it's looking like it's quite a bit quicker for him as well. So everybody kind of finding their rhythm like we talked about early pre-race. As we get some battles here further back, everybody kind of smoothing themselves out. That's the 52 of Johnny Rapp continuing to run in that 7th position, but these lap cars not making it easy. Cars throughout the field not making it easy here. Every position counts. And Johnny Rapp's going to want to keep moving and marching his way up this leaderboard. He's got the 87 of Patrick Colby in tow there behind him as well. So getting hit on both ends here, the 52 of Johnny Rapp. But see how long he can keep it going for. He's got some great speed on this run.
That 87, though, he is clawing into that lead for Johnny Rapp ever so slightly each lap. That's, big moment there. Chase Berry pops up right in front of them. I believe that was a netcode connection issue that, my goodness, from up top, it looked scary. I think we all held a breath for a moment. I can't imagine what it looked like on board in that 52 to see a car pop up right in front of him. Sal, you mentioned the leaderboard right now. Got a couple chatters in here for the first time. Tree Nuts Matt says, let's go Jacob Phillips and that number 56. Appreciate you joining us, Matt, in the chat. Didn't mean to rhyme there. And also Shane Coker, good to hear from you, Shane, says bring home the podium Josh Ward. Currently Ward, I know, Shane, you'll be happy to hear he's running in the 4th position as we watch that battle currently going on for the 6th or 7th position. There goes Patrick Colby by the 52. He had worked him over for several laps, and finally Rapp is going to have to relinquish that 6th position or 7th position to Patrick Colby, who climbs his way up the leaderboard. Started 15th tonight. He's one of the biggest movers, up 8 positions. Currently only 11 cars on the lead lap. Jacob Phillips, the last car on the lead lap. Scotty Sobzak coming up to him any moment. And this is typical Bristol, long runs. I know that a lot of people thought we might have several cautions tonight, but we've only seen 3 on the racetrack. 136 laps of 200 have elapsed here from Bristol, getting ready to enter into the final quarter of this race. The pay window is beginning to open. And speaking of pay window, we're going to open up a little bit of trivia here. Folks, every comment you leave in the chat, even if it's not a mini game, it gets you points on that leaderboard. Chris DeWeese is running away with this thing, but you got plenty of time to get some points on the leaderboard simply by saying hi in the chat, letting us know who you're rooting for that Dale Earnhardt Jr. diecast. And I think it's time for a little Bristol trivia. Sal, I'm curious. Don't reveal the answer, but I'm going to give you a chance to answer it once we've given folks ample time. I'm curious if anyone at home knows the answer to this question. If you do, type the #, type the letter of the correct answer. Right now it's time for some trivia. The question is, which 2 MLB teams recently played at the Speedway Classic inside Bristol? Inside Bristol, you'll see the answer scroll across the screen there. Is it the Braves and, the Braves and the Reds, the Pirates and the Diamondbacks, the Marlins and the Cubs, or the Rangers and the Rays? Those answers will scroll by once again. Simply type the # or the hashtag sign in the letter and hit enter. A, B, C, or D. Get your answers in there. What MLB teams recently played in the Speedway Classic? We'll leave it up for a few minutes. Scotty Sobczak continues to lead the way here. 141 laps down at Bristol in race number 3 of the Stand Up Fight Series Invitational from Slingshot Racing League. These are the best of the best drivers out here. It's why we've only seen 3 cautions tonight. We've seen some of the best racing you can find on iRacing. We're glad you tuned in. And I think you're getting ready to see a barn burner because Aaron Smith has not left the back bumper of that 81 pretty much all night long. They have been together as long as this thing has been going on, Sal.
Yeah, it's not going to quiet down anymore. We see these guys pushing their cars. A little puff of smoke there off the right rear of the 70 of Aaron Smith as he's trying to just get as much speed out of his car as he can. Interesting thing here, right? So their best laps of the night, Scotty Sobczak running a 14.8 as we have lap cars causing a little bit of chest tightness here for the 81 of Scotty Sobczak. That's the 56.
Oh, no, we needed it. We needed
it. No, awesome to call the attention to it because that 56 was up in the wall. I mean, I wasn't sure if I was going to be calling a wreck there or just a tight situation. Glad it went one way than the other, but that is a tight battle. These guys are having for the lead, plus the added element of the lap cars. But, some of the fastest laps of the night here early. These drivers are almost a second slower now than they were at their fastest point of the race. So as we watch these long green flag runs go on, to those of you watching at home, it may not seem like they're so much slower, but these cars are burning their tires up, and with that, getting looser and looser, these cars getting harder and harder to drive. Scotty Sobczak and Aaron Smith making it look easy, really, truly. This has been a great race so far here tonight, and if you're tuning in just now, I think there's more to come as we are just about to get around to lap 150, so just 50 laps here tonight to wrap this one up, and it's going to be a battle all the way home.
A battle all the way home is a great way to describe it. Speaking of battles right now, 14th and 13th position, Nick DeCesare and his teammate Matt Kuntz. Great battle going on around lap traffic. Further back in the field, it's DeCesare leading that battle with Matt Kuntz not too far behind. Both of these drivers on older tires right now. That 00 DeCesare, there goes Kuntz by on the inside. They're behind the 67 or now. That 67 has gotten by. He's on fresh tires. That is Derek Fike, but look at Matt Kuntz pull off the pass there. In that, I believe, what is that on the hood of that, Sal? Can you read that?
That's Towson University, I think. That's a college out near, I think that's a college out near Sal out here toward the East Coast, I believe.
And yeah, Kuntz, that would make sense. East Coast driver, Kuntz in that number 13. That definitely makes sense. DeCesare now just trying to stop the fall that he's witnessed here in the past couple of laps from the 15th position. Josh Ward a lap ahead now of Nick DeCesare. That was a battle going on a couple laps down, 2 laps off the lead, but the battles are everywhere right now. They're really hard as I know it seems like we're covering one battle after another, kind of hopping around the field, but that is the challenge here at Bristol. These things go by very fast, and trying to hit all the stories within one race is incredibly difficult. I'm just looking through the field, looking at the lap times. These leaders, guys, they are all over each other in terms of lap times. As we watch Chris Pierce maybe grab the wall just a little bit there, but not more than 5/100ths of a second separate first from third in terms of lap times. And yeah, you mentioned it, Sal, close call.
Yeah, Pierce there trying to gather it up after maybe getting into the wall there, trying to stay in the throttle a little bit, but that's the leader. That's the 81, Scotty Sobchak, that he maybe accidentally runs up high there through that corner. Costs him a little bit of time, but I hope he wasn't wearing a white fire suit, because that was a tight situation as he is leading, and he has that pressure from Aaron Smith coming on. Good on them both for getting out of that one with nothing more than a little bit of anxiety as this one continues green at the front here.
Day continues green here, just about 42 laps left. Folks, get your answers into that trivia question in the chat. Which 2 baseball teams recently played at the Speedway Classic inside Bristol? Number sign, then your letter. Hashtag, then your letter choice. A, B, C, or D. Enter it in. Go to the chat, whether you're on your phone, whether you're on your computer, however you're watching. You got that chat option. Couple people in the chat right now. Cameron Ellis saying awesome race. We can't agree more. Chris DeWeese says wish that the 8 was still a part of it, but unfortunately Braxton from third place earlier crashed out with it. We found out the monitor issue, as you mentioned earlier, Sal. So hate to see it for that number 8. He'll be back to fight another week here in really, we don't even have an off week, so we're back racing again next week. And I'm impressed. I know we've talked about just how good these drivers are. Scotty Sobchak with a bit of a moment there down the back straightaway, working his way by the 99 of Tom Lickert. But Scotty Sobchak has impressed me. I was concerned early in the race that he was maybe using up those tires a little bit too quickly, but he's since kind of ironed that out, and it really hasn't been any worse for wear. He's been able to maintain a 2-3 car length lead over Aaron Smith most of the night. So he's doing a good job right now in that 81. And yeah, it's good to see Scotty back racing with Slingshot Racing League, and maybe looking towards a win tonight here in race number 3 at Bristol. Couple other battles. That number 87, Kobe, 87 machine has lit it up. That Patrick Colby machine, we're watching it right now. He is trying to get underneath Josh Ward for the 5th position. Looking at lap times, Patrick Colby's been running some heaters over the past 5 laps. Started 15th earlier in the evening. He's been the biggest mover so far tonight in that number 87. Josh Ward might have grabbed the wall a second ago there off the corner. It's going to open the door for that 87 to look inside, but Ward has the momentum off the corner. He's going to have to wait for at least another lap. That is Patrick Colby if he's going to make his way by that number 92 as they sail down the backstretch. 34 laps remaining. That's the 87 right on the back bumper of the 92. Patrick Colby, a slingshot winner, up against another slingshot winner, Josh Ward. Let's see which line prevails. Ward's going to get the run off the corner, but the 87 not going to give up here on the inside. Look at him grab that yellow stripe, that apron, able to roll it, but that outside line is just too tough with the speed that those drivers are carrying off of it.
Yeah, these drivers on this top line running a car length up, 2 car lengths up there on the outside, even have really found some good speed there as you see the 87 slide up and start to run behind the 92 of Ward. I mean, these guys are going to continue to battle here. Wouldn't be surprised if a little horn came into the equation at some point as they're looking. 87 diving down to the bottom there, Colby trying to get a line on him that he can make work, take a little bit off of him in terms of just some aero and slowing him down just a little bit to make it happen, but maybe burning his stuff up a little too hard with all this changing back and forth of the lines here, trying to search for some speed around the track. But a good battle here. We have them throughout the field, as you mentioned earlier tonight, Ellis. I mean, there is nowhere you can sit and look here where you can't see something exciting happening. These drivers throughout just absolutely battling here for whatever they can get, position, staying a lap up for the lead, for anything. Points kind of come into the equation here tonight too. Just in every aspect, there's always something exciting at Bristol, and that's one of the great parts of this race here tonight.
Great racing, and they don't call it the Last Colosseum for no reason, Sal. These drivers put on their Gladiator helmets about an hour ago, and right now we're setting up for the conclusion, the final 25 laps here at Bristol. Scotty Sobczak continues to build a lead up front, but he's working his way through lap traffic. Aaron Smith maybe trying to cool down those tires and wait for one final opportunity, but this is the hottest battle on the track right now. Josh Ward and that's Patrick Colby, they've been side by side, but Sal, this is right in front of the lead. This is the biggest challenge we've seen the 81 of Scotty Sobczak have all night long. Both drivers, this is why these guys are awesome. They moved up to the top and let the leaders work their way by, Sal. You couldn't ask for more if you're Scotty Sobczak. That worked out perfectly for driver number 81. That might have been the winning move for the 81 to get through that traffic with no issue, with now just 23 laps remaining. Aaron Smith about 10 car lengths off the back bumper. He's trying to deal with lap traffic. He's going to clear it through the center of the corner, back down the front straightaway. Aaron Smith is clear of lap traffic, and boy, they didn't even let that phase them. That battle going on for the 5th position is going to resume here as these drivers get past to put a lap down, and that is now everyone, Sal, but the top 4 have been put a lap down. What a blistering masterclass that 81 of Scotty Sobczak has put on tonight. Rye Jones now trying to work his way by the lap traffic of Patrick Colby, and he's going to climb his way up into, I should say, Rye Jones's 3rd position. Not really on the back bumper of these leaders, but you never know what could happen. Right now, Scotty Sobczak, I think that's the biggest story, Sal, up front right now. Scotty Sobczak is going to be dealing with lap traffic pretty much every single lap here for the remainder of the race. So I think that's probably the most important thing to focus on. Can the 81 make it through the lap traffic? And as I say that, Aaron Smith is now closed up just about 3 car lengths off the lead. He's lost a little bit through that corner, but that number 70 has found something, Sal.
Yeah, I think he was kind of saving it up, as you said earlier, as they were going around the lap traffic, maybe just burping that throttle, saving that tire just a little bit more than the 81 of Scotty Sobczak could. And it's going to be interesting to see what kind of a run he can try to make here at the end, as he is closing that gap in a hurry. Now just 2/10 behind him. I mean, absolutely sealing it up. It's going to be a fun battle here between these two drivers. And if you're Rye Jones, even though you're not on their back bumper, you're loving watching these guys battle. You're loving seeing them potentially challenge one another, as he's going to try to fly up through some of these lap cars. The lap traffic kind of holding him back a little bit right now, but that 70 car is coming with a full head of steam. It'll be interesting to see what kind of approach he takes to try to make the pass. It looks like he's looking to the top side, and might be time for a move here.
There it is. The move might be on its way. Producer Colby, can we get the corner analysis, the corner tracker up, so we can see corner by corner what these drivers are doing, how they compare to each other? Folks, if you're tuning in right now, you pick the best time. Just 13 laps left here, 14 laps left from Bristol. That's a battle for the lead we're watching. 2 former Slingshot winners, one of them a champion, another a runner-up to a championship. The best of the best racing it out. They're going to settle it here at Bristol in just about 5 minutes or less. These laps click by incredibly quickly. Right now we're looking at Aaron Smith's speed compared. He's faster through the center of the corner, but it's pretty much neutral in and out. But look, he drove it in harder that time. They're trying to clear the lap car of Paul Thomas. They'll have Jacob Phillips not too far in front of them. The biggest challenge of the race for both of these drivers has just begun as we enter into the final 10 laps here at Bristol. If you've got friends who like racing, please send them. They're not going to want to miss this conclusion, folks. 81 of Scotty Sobczak. The 70 of Aaron Smith, last week's winner at Atlanta. It's going to be a barn burner as we watch that corner analysis. That Smith machine has found something on the top groove, a little bit loose off the corner there. But, Sal, who do you like right now?
I mean, I really like what I'm seeing out of Aaron Smith right now. He had a lot of great speed last week, and he comes to the track correct every single week, able to generate a ton of speed. A lot of good runs for him here tonight. But this track, a little bit different. To be honest with you, I think the 81's got the edge, despite the 70 maybe carrying a little bit better speed through that corner. It's definitely tough. Tough to judge lap over lap, corner over corner. They go through quite a few of them over these 200 laps, but lap traffic is really what's going to affect these guys here. You know, you saw the 70 right up to the bumper of Scotty on that last run, that little run there, the last few laps, and now kind of backing it up just a little bit. But that bumper-to-bumper action was only caused by maybe some indecisive lap cars that were who's sticking up high, who's staying down low, and being able to navigate the field. But in this open air, in the open places on the track, the 81 seems to have that edge right now.
I think you're right, but Aaron Smith's searching for something. If there's a driver who's going to find something, look at the big run. Smith on the inside. Tom Licker to the 99, potentially a pick for the number 70. Can this 81 of Sobczak, the leader, clear the 99? Can Smith use it to his advantage? He climbs the banking. He wiggles loose, but will he end up with a run off the corner? Now just 5 laps left in Bristol, Tennessee for the win in race number 3 of the Stand-Up Fight Series. That's Sobczak. That's Smith. It's going to be a close one, folks.
Every lap feels like the last lap right now with only a handful left to go. I mean, what a move. Big wiggles coming now. They're going to push these cars as hard as they can to get as much speed as they can. Here we go. Gloves are off.
Gloves are off indeed. These drivers getting ready to have a knockdown, drag-out fight. Just now, 3 laps remaining in Bristol. It's been a 200-lap race. It's gone by in a blistering pace here. Scotty Sobczak just 2.5 laps away from picking up his first win of the season and his first Slingshot Racing League win in over a year. 2-lap cars, 3-lap cars are going to decide this. Can Aaron Smith make the right moves? 4 cars in front of Scotty Sobczak, 5. This is going to be incredible. Folks, coming to 2 laps now, the white flag. Sobczak threads the needle. Aaron Smith on the outside. Smith there. Can he do anything? This is incredible. Smith down to the inside. Can he do it on the outside? Is the 2 going to hold up the 81? The 70 tries, but he has nothing for Scotty Sobczak, who's going to win race number 3 of the Slingshot Racing League Stand-Up Fight Series Invitational. And you saw it. Smith gave everything he had, Sal. What an incredible race. They caught that lap traffic at the absolute worst time for them, but boy, it was the best time for us watching.
Yeah, that last run there, those last few turns with that lap traffic, I mean, the move of the race, the winning move for Scotty Sobczak over the course of the whole night was being able to thread that needle 3 wide. Let me tell you, that is so incredibly difficult to do. He gets it done. He's able to just keep the car stable enough to run that middle, not getting into the competitors around him. So easy to slip, so easy to get into the wall, into another competitor, and just showing why he is a true master of the craft here and the winner here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway. That 81 car, Scotty Sobczak, looked good all night, but not as good as it does sitting in victory lane.
Well, speaking of victory lane, we're going to reveal the trivia winner, the mini game chat winner, I should say, in a moment. We got one last question for you, folks. If you are behind, you can catch Chris DeWeese, or Chris, you can maintain your lead with the word scramble. Your word to unscramble there, it is related to this race in some way. First chatter to type the hashtag and then the correct unscrambled word and hit that enter button is going to win 10 points on the leaderboard tonight, potentially to take home that Dale Earnhardt Jr. diecast. We're going to talk more about that. We're going to talk to your winners here in just a moment. We're going to take a quick break to hear from our partners at Whiplash SimCams. We'll be back in just a moment, folks, for the post-race interview and hear from your top 3.
ready, set, let's go. I'm on the way up, I'm on the way up, I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up, I'm on the way up, I'm on the way up, going all the way up. There's nothing you can do to stop it. I've been on the way up cause I know I'm popping. Hits, no misses, clean up like the dishes. Ain't no point telling me to stop cause I won't listen. Every level got a new devil. I'ma give him hell cause I don't know better. I'm a born winner, I'm going all the way up. There's nothing you can do to make me ever give up. Let's go. I'm on the way up, I'm on the way up, I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up, I'm on the way up, I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up, I'm on the way up, I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm on the way up, I'm on the way up, I'm on the way up, going all the way up. I'm getting close, I can taste it. I'm going up like a spaceship. I'm shaking the ground, I'm making it loud. I go to work when nobody's around. It's time to get it, it's time to go, it's time to shine, it's my time to blow.
Back here live from Bristol Motor Speedway, folks. We are still collecting ourselves after an incredible finish that saw Scotty Sobczak and Aaron Smith dueling through 6, 7, 8 lap cars in the final 2 laps. It was Scotty Sobczak who was able to hold on for the win in race number 3 of the Stand Up Fight Series Invitational for Slingshot Racing League. We're going to hear from him shortly, but before we do, we're going to bring in 3rd place finisher Rye Jones and see what he has to say about how this thing went down tonight. Rye Jones, Florida man, number 91. It's Ellis, Sal, and Kobe in the booth. You got a copy.
Hi, guys. I got you.
Hey, man. Long time no talk. I'm glad to see you up here in the top 3. You got a win in the ARCA Series, the UD Award ARCA Series, just a couple of days ago on Monday. What a week for you, a win and a 3rd place finish. How good does it feel this week, and how tough was it out there tonight for 200 laps?
Yeah, that was fun. That was awesome. I was super happy that it went green the rest of the way after the last caution. I felt like I had a decent pace on the long run. I couldn't get a better qualifying lap than Scotty or Aaron and them. And my main goal was just to kind of stay with them, and that's what I did. And it's just so much fun at this track and in this generation car. You know, I go back to, you know, when I first, you know, started watching racing, and the first ever race my dad and most of my family went to was the 2002 Sharpie 500 at Bristol. So this race meant like a lot to me, and it just the nostalgic feeling of this place was super cool, and just had a lot of fun. These cars are so fun to drive.
And it looked like y'all are having fun out there all night long. Only 3 cautions on the end. What was your view of that battle for the lead when they were going through lap traffic at the end? Did you think you might have a shot if something went wrong?
Yeah, you know, I was kind of hoping, I'm like, you know what, I hope they can kind of get tangled up there, because with about, I don't know, maybe like 20-40 to go, I kind of got tangled up in lap traffic, and it slowed me down by like almost 2 seconds, and it was hard to catch up to them at that point. So I was just trying to hang on, and yeah, they came to that big pack at the very end, and I was like, well, you know, something may happen, but I mean, it came right at the white flag. Had it came a few laps earlier, I wouldn't have been surprised if something had happened there. But I'm actually, as much as I would have loved for something to happen, for me to win or something like that, I'm glad it didn't. That's what makes this series so great, is that people keep it clean and we can find a way to make it happen. So I think it was super cool that, everything worked the way it did, and may not have been a win, but I'm super happy for a P3.
And Slingshot Racing is back, and it is back in a big way here this season with the Stand Up Fight Series Invitational, the best of the best, and you are one of them, my friend. Before we let you go celebrate that podium finish, any shout-outs for the folks at home?
Yeah, I got to thank you guys for putting on the show. Can't wait to watch the replay. Got to thank, anybody and everybody that's watching, including my family. Love you guys. Got to thank the Stand Up Fight series, like the sponsorship and all the sponsors that we get in this league, media awards and all that. I got to thank the Payday teammates and just everybody that allows this to happen and allows me to race. And I'm very appreciative of them.
Man, great job out there tonight. Go celebrate that third place finish, Ry Jones. We'll see you next week, my friend.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Sir. All right. That means the next victim, or I should say the next driver to be interviewed by the booth, is going to be second place finisher Aaron Smith, who won last week at Atlanta, but boy, he gave it his all. Sal, I'm curious to hear what he has to say. I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. Aaron Smith joining us up here in the booth. Aaron, a win last week, and you were sniffing out another one this week here at Bristol. What a run, man. Give us a little bit of a rundown of how that one went for you. I mean, looked fast all night. How'd it feel in the car?
Yeah, it felt pretty good at the beginning of the run. I had a feeling I'd be one of the guys to beat tonight, but Scotty's always on top there. And when he comes up with a good run, he has a really good run. So there wasn't much. I didn't really have much for him as the run went on. I was relying most on the lap cars that we were catching up to, just completely checking us up. But the right rear was gone with about 25 laps to go, and it was just fighting to stay alive from there. Gave up the ghost coming out of turn 4, but that was more of a product of that outside line. I don't know what they did to the outside of Bristol. It's really dark. I don't know if it was the marbles or what, but I hit it and immediately went straight. So that wasn't ideal, but I don't think I was going to get the run anyway, so it's all good. Made things interesting, though.
Well, that was something we were going to ask you next was, we saw you searching around a little bit throughout the night, looking for speed, looking for a way to maybe poke your nose and take a little bit off of them and get side by side. The top line, was that obviously slipperier from what you just said, but was there speed up there at any point, or was it just one where, there was only the matter of the lap traffic to really get you guys closed up with each other?
Yeah, it had some speed to it at the beginning of the run, but see, the thing with this car is that with these tires or with the setups we've been running, it feels more like standing in the middle of a seesaw and trying to balance yourself. If you go too far, if you lean the car too hard to the left going into the corner, it oversteps and you feel like it's going to spin out, and sometimes it does spin out. So you have to be careful. It runs well around the outside early, but that right rear tire did not like me doing it as long as I did, and ultimately I think that's what made the difference.
Yeah, and we saw you guys coming up on that lap traffic there in the final closing laps. We saw you and Scotty kind of shoot the gap there, going almost 3 wide there in some situations. How do you guys keep it straight? I mean, it is so hard, especially like you said, that right rear is all tore to pieces inside the car, just up on the wheel. What did you see from your vantage point, bringing it home there for that P2 finish?
I saw about 4 wrecks that should have happened there on the last lap. I was waiting for it. I was waiting to have to go up the track to pass Scotty. But he made all the moves stick. Yeah, there wasn't much else I could have done about that. But we were going so slow catching up to those lap cars. The looseness wasn't really an issue. But it caught me there at the end, and unfortunately that was all she wrote. Wow, it was a great run for you. You got a great points night in the books. And how do you like your chances next week? Where are we next week? Isn't it an off week? It's an off week, actually. Oh, man. Charlotte. Yeah, Charlotte the week after. So I misspoke. I said it was an off week, but it's not. Or it is. It is an off week, so. All right, so you got to wait till Charlotte. My chances. Yeah, Charlotte's one of my best tracks. Like one of the places I'd bet on myself over anybody on the service. So hopefully I'll be able to see that through and come out on top again. All right, Aaron, anybody you want to thank out there who's watching or listening out on Slingshot Racing League YouTube? Any sponsors? Oh, yeah, I'd like to thank all the folks at the Slingshot Racing League for putting this show on. I didn't have my cue card ready for all the sponsors for the championship, but I'd like to thank the Stand Up Fight Series for being the title sponsor this season, all the folks involved with getting this whole deal together, and y'all for broadcasting, all the folks for watching. Looking forward to getting back at it in 2 weeks' time.
Awesome. We're looking forward to talking to you some more throughout the rest of the year. Aaron, great run tonight. Congratulations on that second place finish.
10-4. Thank you.
All right, that means there's one more, and that is the winner tonight, Scotty Sobczak. Driver number 81, Scotty Sobczak. It's Ellis, Sal, and Kobe in the Slingshot booth. You got a copy, sir?
I got a copy. Good evening.
Oh, man. That was have you caught your breath after that finish? It was a wild one.
Man, barely. That's 3 wide coming to the white flag in the middle with a couple lap cars on either side. Is not the way you want to, enter the last lap, but got through it okay. So yeah, that's like I was saying earlier, I could probably find all kinds of things to complain about, but just not today.
What were you putting your odds at when you saw that there were 2 or 3 laps left and you knew that you were likely going to catch that big pack of lap cars? Had you counted yourself out? Did you just assume that something bad was going to happen, or did you think you had it won all along?
No, I didn't think I had it won at any point. And, even coming into this race, I thought that this is not one of my better tracks for sure. But, every one of us goes to the Chase Berry School of Racing at some point. And one of his things is you just say that you hate a track and you'll do really well at it. So that's exactly what happened. So, credit to our friends over at Payday Racing for that little tidbit.
Oh, man, that was a great tip. I think Chris Smith also does that quite a bit. So him and Chase Berry, you took their advice tonight, and it definitely paid off, man. Talk to us about just how difficult it was out there tonight. We heard Aaron Smith talking about tire wear was towards the end of the run with about 30 or 40 laps left made it incredibly difficult to drive these things. How was it on your end?
No, it wasn't terrible. I think you could see after that first caution, I think it was that Braxton stayed out and was able to stay in front of us on old tires for a few laps. So after 50 or 60 laps, you could still have some pace with them. But overall, it wasn't too bad. It was just kind of hard to find the balance late in the run, and you don't want to be fighting somebody. And I think that's where I got pretty fortunate. I didn't have to fight too much, so I could kind of roll the bottom and take care of what I needed to, so the end I could kind of push, and ultimately it really wasn't even about saving the tires as much as it was just navigating all the traffic, in every phase of that race.
Well, man, you looked about as tough as one of those stand-up fight series Muay Thai kickbox fighters out there, maybe even tougher tonight. And you made it look really easy there those last couple of laps. I think most of us watching at home who are familiar with iRacing at all know that we probably would not have fared as well as that 81 Predator machine did tonight. You were the apex Predator out there all night long at Bristol, my friend. Before we let you go, any shout-outs for the folks watching at home?
Yeah, man, I think number one sponsor out there, Acer Computers and the Predator brand. It's nice to switch up my paint scheme to Predator and actually run better than the old scheme, so that's great. Thanks to the folks watching upstairs. I think Alex and Baby Junebug, and I got one on the way in December, so she's watching vicariously. But thanks to my teammates too, and Aaron and Patrick and Josh. They ran with us all night and helped out and gave us good info on lap cars and things like that. So thanks to you guys for the broadcast, and we'll see you guys in a couple weeks, I believe it is.
Yep, we got an off week next week, and then Charlotte. What do you make your chances there at Charlotte? Gonna go back to back?
I'm just gonna tell people I hate it, and it'll turn out well.
Sounds like a good plan to me. Scotty Sobczak on that number 81. We'll let you go celebrate this victory, my friend. Congrats tonight at Bristol.
Right on, man. Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir. Sal, that was a wild one. I'm still trying to regain composure after those last couple of laps here at Bristol. Boy, how are you doing after that?
That was something else. I mean, action-packed from flag to flag throughout the field. Obviously, that battle for the lead was something that we saw, early on. There was the 8, the 70, the 81, all in contention there. We saw what it looks like to take an alternate strategy, to push the car too hard. We saw what it was like as you went back and forth through the field there. Drivers just trying to keep their position, not fall a lap back, and then drivers trying to just stay in the mix, use that top line. Gets a little slippery up there, and we saw a little piece of everything here tonight. It was an absolute pleasure to watch this one. This was probably, for me, my favorite of the year so far. They're all my favorite, but this one has definitely been a standout here tonight. So a lot of high to come down from here as we wind it down now that the race is over. But if we have more races like this at tracks here in the Slingshot Racing League, I am very excited about what we're going to see this season.
Well, man, we are glad you found a home with us here at Slingshot TV. It's been an awesome season so far. It's been a pleasure to work with you for the last 2 races. I'm excited. I love doing this, but I'm excited that you'll have Sky back in the booth next week. You folks do a great job together, along with producer Kobe, who does an expert job on the cameras and everything you see on screen tonight. So, Kobe, we appreciate you immensely. Folks, we're going to have an off week for Wednesday racing next week, but do not worry. We've got Mystic Racing League action coming up tomorrow night. It's the cutoff race for round number 1 of the Mystic Racing League Fall Creek Plumbing Series playoffs. They're at the Roval, and boy, that is going to be a wild one. If you thought Bristol was interesting tonight, those Xfinity cars ripping around the Roval with championship eliminations on the line. It's going to be a fun one. Tune in tomorrow night at 8:15 Eastern Time to catch that race live on Slingshot TV. And then next Monday, the UD Awards ARCA Series, they're heading over to Lime Rock Park for their first road course race of the season. That's going to be a wild one. I'm going to be in that one. I got to start practicing because it is going to be a challenge all night long. Folks, in the chat, y'all were awesome all night long. Cameron Ellis pulled off the last-minute upset win with unscrambling that word, Predator. And by the way, that was the brand on Scotty Sobczak's car tonight. Good job. We'll do more of these in the future, folks. You can catch them every single race night, whether it's a pack of NASCAR trading cards or a NASCAR diecast. We like to do these giveaways weekly. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. That makes it all possible, and it doesn't cost you anything at all. We've enjoyed having you folks tonight. It was a great night of racing at Bristol. 200 laps went by in a hurry, but it wasn't without amazing action and ultimately a very incredible finish in which Scotty Sobczak held off Aaron Smith despite lap traffic. Folks, it's going to be a great season here for the Stand Up Fight Series Invitational from Slingshot Racing League. We'll catch you guys in a couple weeks, but tune in tomorrow night for the Mystic Racing League playoffs. Have a great night, folks. Good luck out there.
Fellas, go have a good day today. Like I said, load all the fans. Thank you guys for coming out. We got a great crowd today. Everybody listen at home.
If you push, I'm defiant.
Everybody enjoy
Just
the race.
try it. It is bound to get violent when you walk this way.
Do it. All 4 tires face the same direction at the end of this thing. Ready? Green, 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 green. Good, baby. Put the pressure on that little. You know what? You get it. Crash behind you. Just past halfway, bud. Just past halfway. A lot of racing to go. Take care of your stuff. That car up there is your next spot. Hit him. Yeah, man, let him come to you. Don't push him. White flag, nice and smooth.